Hey guys.
Hey folks, we're here today to check out a fun one. Well, at least I hope it's a fun one. I think it's going to be a fun one for you. So this is a new band called Spitting Glass, and this band features none other than Joe Bad on vocals.
Ooh.
You didn't know that? You didn't know that, huh? It's a new project that he has.
You know how to get to me. You know how to get to me. I think a lot of people know how to get to me. I've made it very clear.
Listen, they've only released a couple of songs. They haven't even released an album, and they already played Download Festival this summer. So there's some hype. There's some hype around Spitting Glass. I haven't heard a single song. I know Joe is on vocals, but I haven't heard a single song.
That's all I need to know.
So this is going to be my introduction.
That's all I need to know.
All right. So let's fucking go. Let's check this out.
From the light you ever saw, emotions beneath the weight of it all you made to trust away. Now the silence is higher than you name ever made. And when the walls come down, there'll be nothing to save. I know you've got something to prove. Shame out every man just to feel the fear. But the fire you've made is the new shoes, and the truth cuts deep when there's nothing left to
All right. So this is what Knocked Loose will sound like once their vocalist goes through puberty.
Real. That's real as fuck.
Dude, that is this song in a nutshell.
Knock loose with a better
Knocked
lead
Loose
singer.
with a better lead singer. One that his testicles dropped.
With the lead singer.
And this track features Rhys Griffiths from Mourn. Anyways, I just want to throw that in there. I forgot. And the name of the song is Full Send.
Yeah. Well,
So I forgot to mention that too.
well, you included.
I forgot a lot of things,
forgot a lot
but
of
the
things,
most
but
important thing is Joe's on the
is
track.
Joe's on the track. You
Joe's
know,
on the
like,
track.
Well, you hear it in the faint distance, you know, Joe on the track. I'm there.
This is all beef, no burgers.
No,
It's meaty.
I have no beef. I have no beef.
No, I mean beefy. It's beefy.
Yeah.
Not beef in terms of having a beef. I'm talking about like it's beefy.
This is meat, but it's not beyond.
No, this is like some bulgogi shit.
Yeah.
Some good shit. Anyways, but what do you think about my take about
I fully agree with you. I fully agree with
It
you.
leans more on the hardcore side.
It leans. It's the harm's way hardcore, super meaty hardcore stuff that normally No, normally I'm into more on the live than on the studio.
Oh, live
Live
it really slaps. This kind of shit
for me, it always
slaps.
kicks better.
But still, Knocked Loose even live for me still doesn't.
Well, for me, a lot of hardcore that's in this vicinity, live is where I enjoy it the most. It's kind of like how you don't enjoy instrumental stuff
but I enjoy
on
live.
studio, but you like it live.
Yes.
For me, it's that way with this
hardcore.
more not with regular hardcore.
Now you're more traditional agnostic front or madball hardcore,
or like punk hardcore stuff
yeah.
like that, like Straight from the Path or stuff like that. That's different. When it comes to stuff that's super meaty like this, I need it live better.
with the caveman riffs.
Yeah, with the caveman riffs. But this one had some technical stuff within. They kind of gave off what Fit for an Autopsy does in their.
Yeah, this was like also if Kublai Khan had better guitar players.
Yeah.
I mean, the bullets are flying
Also,
everywhere. Everybody's catching strays on this video. Everybody's catching strays. Let me just put
No one's straying from the path here.
Everybody's catching strays. Because if Kublai Khan had better guitar players, it probably would sound like this. And if Knocked Loose had a better singer, they probably would sound like this too. So it is what it is. Everybody's catching strays.
Yeah. But I really enjoy those because you can hear it in the background, like kind of technical guitar going on in the background, and I love that shit because it kind of gives you a little bit of it gives you something else to think about while the meat is just hitting you in the face.
It's not as straightforward as would have been otherwise. Like and once again, I mean no disrespect with the jokes. First of all, I'm a huge Kublai Khan fan. Huge, like I love that band. Knocked Loose not so much, but Kublai Khan yes. And it's I'm not throwing shade here. I'm just having fun with it. But the reality is the reality. If you look at a band like that, the riffage on their songs is really just power chords. It's really straightforward. I'm not even a guitar player, but I think I could learn their set list within like an afternoon, because it's just like 5 chords. Like there's not much going on there. It's just like it's heavy for the sake of heavy. You can have that
if you have something in the background that's a little bit more, weird technical.
I think it adds a little vibe to
quite
it.
a bit. In this song, it adds a lot. And especially with Joe's vocals, it kind of brings me to what he does with Fit for an Autopsy. So it brings me to a safer place.
I think another aspect of this song, in terms of that guitar sound that creeps in, that kind of breaks away from that path of more linearity. That's normally a very consistent element when it comes to these more meaty hardcore bands like Harm's Way, like you mentioned. But specifically, like with Kublai Khan, like bands like that, or Unity Texas is another band that are really straightforward in terms of their riffage. It kind of reminds me of a band called Better Lovers, because they also added elements of hardcore and post-hardcore and whatever, but they had some songs where they would go a little bit more on the fringe guitar-wise, and I've always enjoyed that, because I like a curveball here and there. Otherwise, when you're listening to a set, especially when you're watching a band live, it starts to all feel like just one really long song, especially if they don't break the track to do some talking or whatever. If they play 3 songs in a row, you kind of have no idea where one song ended and where the next one started, because the guitar tone is exactly the same on every single song. It's not like hardcore bands are switching guitars every track, like you see that with bands like Halloween or whatever, because they're tuned differently and each song is in a different tuning, so they have to change the guitars for each specific track. Hardcore bands is like whatever tuning the first track was on is the tuning is, rinse and repeat for every single track. So throwing a little bit more of that on the background, it definitely gives the songs a little bit more for the listener to digest. It makes the songs more intriguing. It gives the songs also a little bit more of an individuality, because it makes them unique with those elements within it. And it still has a linear motion to it, because the bass line of the song, it's still a meaty caveman style riff. But then when you add all of those flares to it, man, it makes the songs way more interesting. It just makes you like lean back a little bit more, like Fat Joe. You know what I mean? You're leaning back a little bit more. I really dig it. I really dig it. I like that kind of dynamics. It makes the songs not feel one-dimensional, which most of them are. But it kind of gives you a different perspective of the track.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else you got to say?
Not much. My voice is not letting me. But no, I gotta say, Although, even if you didn't tell me Joe was on this track, I think I would have found out by at least the 2 second mark. But my overall with this track is, even with him on the track, the style of metal it is, I don't have to like it on the record, but I really fuck with it. And his voice is not even the reason, which is funny. Although his voice is fucking great, and I think it really works with this genre, because I also feel like this is the similar flow he has with Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah, well, deathcore also brings elements of hardcore.
Of hardcore, yeah. But I think what I really fucking enjoy is those technical guitars in the background while giving you the schmeat. I love that shit. I love the schmeat with a little bit of techie schmeat. I love that shit. It bridges that gap for that whole like live listen to record listen. This is something I can listen to like at the gym or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's like it's not Neanderthal.
It's not overly Neanderthal,
but it's also not Homo sapiens.
You'll never catch me listening, and I mean zero offense. You'll never catch me listening to like 200 stab wounds on my phone. But if I'm at a show, I'm gonna enjoy myself because at the show's a completely different like.
I love that band, by the way. Anyway, and the guys, I love the guys in 200 stab wounds. But I know it's not.
But I mean zero offense to the guys. You'll never catch me listening to it on my phone.
Or like Fuming Mouth is another band.
I
don't think they'll ever catch you listening to it on your phone. Fuming Mouth, bands like that.
You'll see me in the crowd.
The beauty of this approach guitar wise is that it's not a Neanderthal track, but it's also not an Homo sapiens track.
It's like Homo habilis. It's like in the middle.
There's like there's
or habilis was before. Right?
There's a lost link in the ladder of evolution. And that lost link
of how underbite you can be while playing the guitar.
It's somewhere in here, like the lost link that hasn't been discovered yet. It's somewhere in here, and it kind of bridges the gap between the Neanderthal and the Homo sapiens. There's something in between there, so that's kind of how I feel.
There's a lot in between there,
but because this has some
metal,
Neanderthal stuff, and there has some Homo sapien stuff. It's a little bit in between.
This is like clenched jaw, and then I feel like the Neanderthal stuff is like very underbite central. When you're playing the guitar and you're like that, dude, that's super.
Yeah,
I think I'm right on that. This is clenched jaw. That's
yeah. I think you're. I think that's a really accurate take that I never really thought about, but makes total
when you're
sense
listening
to
to
me.
like 200 stab wounds, come on, the underbite it comes through a little
It's
bit.
the stink face.
It's that version of the stink face.
You're like, oh, that was meaty. Fuck. Anyhow, love 200 stab wounds. There's no, I have nothing but love for those guys and bands like them. Like Fuming Mouth is another one that comes to mind. So anyhow, on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed this track from this brand new band. Like I said, they don't even have an album out. They don't even have music videos. I had to find this, whatever this is, on YouTube because they just dropped like 2 songs on YouTube. And they just played Download, which is crazy. They got booked to play Download, massive festival, without even having an album out. So I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not saying that this is an industry plant. I'm not saying that.
No.
But what I gotta say is that, wow, these guys got something going on.
It's not an industry plant because it could be. Because industry plants.
If you're gonna create an industry plan, it's gonna be something that's gonna sell 1 million records or whatever the fuck, like President, something like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like not this.
Not
like,
this. Although this is.
I prefer this, but what I'm saying is, there's no band that sounds like this that's gonna sell out a stadium.
But that's exactly what I was saying. I was thinking like when it comes to bands that are normally like industry plants, normally. Anyone you ask, like, do you like them? No. So, like,
but somehow they're selling. But they sell out arenas and shit.
But that's what I'm saying. I actually like.
But they also come in quickly and disappear quickly. Like I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, they make their bag and they disappear, and then you find out the lead singer is playing with a different man.
That was in True.
But he changed his whole look, so you kind of don't really recognize him.
Yeah, that's true. It's
always what happens.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened with bands like Sleep Token and even Ghost. All of those guys had different projects, different bands that never really worked out, and then suddenly they caught lightning in a bottle. It is what it is.
But that's not industry plant.
No. And I wasn't claiming that it was.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying to you
But I'm
is
saying
that,
it was in the same sentence, so people may think.
oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. But what I'm trying to say, for me, industry plant is more like a band that's kind of like formed by the industry to cater to a specific niche that, or maybe not a niche, but to a specific need that exists at that time period.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you put all of these pieces together, it's gonna sell. Like, it's gonna be the biggest. Like, we see that, for example, with K-pop. There's like a K-pop band comes in, becomes massive, and then a couple of years later disappears, and there's another K-pop band that takes their place, becomes massive, and then disappears.
But that's
and,
also different.
I'm
That
sure
world,
most of those are all like
that
industry
world,
plants. Like,
that
that's just a
world
fact.
is there's like documentaries and shit. That world is like fucking crazy.
Out of this world.
Dude. It's some of the shit that happens to those people, or like they kill themselves and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because
Dude, it's insane. It's
in the membrane. So,
yeah, man.
on that note, guys, go show some love to Spitting Glass with Joe Bad on vocals, and we'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.